Okay guys, we have 919 South Garfield, the front of the home. I'm just going to drive around the blocks and give you a scope of the neighborhood surrounding. So let's go. I'm actually going to head north on Garfield first and make a right, and that will be heading west on Kentucky, just to kind of give you a scope of where the closest park is to the home. So we've got a house there, and this corner is going to be South Garfield in Kentucky. If we were to head right or head east on Kentucky, that would take us to Colorado Boulevard. We're I think technically this is the 4th block. So this is the home on the corner next door. And then we're facing west, heading westerly. I'm gonna make a right at the stop sign and head north. So this is Madison. You can see there in the distance we've got some construction going on. Looks like a scrape and rebuild. And then some of these really stately homes. And you can see the other direction here. This is the east side of the street. This is kind of one of those little quadrants, these little islands that's an open green space. We've got this really large estate still here on the left. Left onto Adams here. I think you can see there in the distance too, that is I believe that's Louisiana right there. So that's that main road that goes east and west from Colorado Boulevard to University Boulevard and puts you in on the north corner of where all of those shops and Brae ice cream are located. Really cool. There's a kind of a modern Tudor-esque style, and then we've got a really cool prairie style, kind of mid-century. A lot of hints to Frank Lloyd Wright there. Another Tudor here, and then a modern. And then right ahead of us, this is Kentucky, but the block doesn't go through on this section, which is good news for traffic that is passing through. This isn't a thoroughfare because of the way that these blocks are separated in this way, so you can't actually drive through. You have to go around the block, and that's a really nice urban planning feature to kind of cut down on traffic speeding through the neighborhood. Really cool mid-century right there. It's gorgeous. Kind of got a Brady Bunch mid-century here to the right. And then here we're coming back to the stop sign that we saw earlier. There's that construction in the back of those stately homes. So I'm taking a right and heading east on Kentucky. stay within the block so that I'm not traveling around too much and interrupting the upload. So here's the street again. I'm gonna do a pass-through heading south on Garfield. So there's the house itself. Sorry, I know the wind sound is probably rough there. Actually, I'm gonna go forward just so that you see. I mean, Colorado is in the distance there, 3 streets away, and then the next artery is going to be south up here, which I believe is Mississippi. So you got another scrape and build here. We got some of these smaller ranch homes as we get closer to Mississippi, but we can see there's a lot going on with scrape and rebuilds because of the demand for the location. So here we're on the corner of South Garfield and Mississippi. You can see Hyatt Place in the distance, which is right off of Colorado Boulevard. I'm actually going to head right and west to give you the orientation to Brae on the commercial section of University. So you can see there, Colorado at the light up ahead. There's a Starbucks actually right on that corner, or right within the distance of that corner. I go there pretty frequently, as you can tell. So here's Madison. This is Cook. And we're heading in a westerly direction. To the right is north. To the left is south. This is Adams. I'm going to cut across here on Steel. So this is kind of a cut through to get to University, kind of more on the backside of Cherry Creek Mall. And this heads right into that intersection just to the north of Bonnie Brae Ice Cream. Passing Steel, and we're now heading kind of northwesterly on Bonnie Brae. This is Milwaukee. This street is Fillmore. This is Clayton. This is Cove. And then here's the really kind of centralized park for Bonnie Brae. You can see all the kids right here playing. And this is a really big draw for this neighborhood. You can see it's a good sized park. Milwaukee again. watching the video upload to make sure I have a strong connection. This is Fillmore and Columbine on the left. Elizabeth here to the right. Josephine on the left. Columbine on the right. Ohio on the left. And this is the intersection of University and Exposition. I'm going to make a right heading east on Exposition. And I'm actually going to drive all the way to Colorado, make a right and head south to Kentucky, and then back down to the property, just to give you an orientation of the location. I think this next street up ahead is Clayton, so this is there's that house that we saw a couple of weeks ago. Decided that this was a little too close to Exposition for you guys. And these are kind of those streets that we were driving around when you were here in person. So we drove through all these streets right here. I'm going to close the window because it's getting a little brisk out. That's all that construction that we saw going on last time we drove through here. And then the elementary school here on the right. It's Knight Elementary. Video is at 15%. There's that little quadrant right at the back of the commercial space off of Colorado, and essentially on the north end of these homes is going to be that green space, that park that's on the south side of Cherry Creek, the creek itself. It's also a great pocket of homes in there, kind of a little hidden gem if anything pops up on the market. I wouldn't necessarily, obviously that one's right on the corner of Exposition, so not an ideal positioning for lot on the busy street, and also up against this commercial at the back. So we're on the west side of Colorado here, where all of the commercial space for this Colorado Boulevard corridor. We're making a right heading south. And then you can see up ahead there's the Hilton Garden Inn, which is going to be Cherry Creek Boulevard and Colorado. So we've got Target kind of there in the distance. At the back of this commercial space we have Home Depot. There's a bunch of shops within that commercial shopping center there. There's a, not Pier 1, but a, what is it called? World Market. And there we go. So we've got quite a bit of daily conveniences here. Smaller King Supers right here, and essentially this is Ohio. So it doesn't, it goes right into the parking lot, so it doesn't go into the neighborhood. But Kentucky will be up here. That liquor store actually has a good selection of wines as well, and as does the World Market. They've always got a good selection. Whole Foods is right there on the corner. Another big draw for daily conveniences. And then you can see Mercedes-Benz Denver is up ahead. The BMW dealership is actually really close as well. It's the next major block over, and that's BMW of downtown. It's not my preferred BMW dealership. I actually go to the shop dealership in Highlands Ranch just because I feel like the service center there is a little more on top of things. They're extra communicative, and I favor that one. I don't mind driving the distance for good service. So here's Kentucky here to the right. We're making a right here, and then we're heading in a westerly direction. This is Harrison. And then this is going to be Jackson here. And then at the stop sign, we're at Garfield. So again, the house is just there. I'm gonna make a right and head north on Garfield so that we can see this section, or this north side of the street. You can see there's some pretty lovely stately homes on this street, very mature trees and landscape. I'm gonna let this car pass me just because I'm going extra slow. Another really nice stately home here. Corner of Belcaro and Garfield. It's kind of one of the more traditional homes that was built in the neighborhood. Same thing with this one. And here we are back at Exposition. I'm actually, video is at 23% right now, so I'm just gonna pull aside up here. I have got 5G right here in this spot, so I'm gonna let this finish uploading and send out to you guys.